Dropping out of society will guarantee your life will be worse. Not better, worse. NEETmaxxing is not freedom, it's irrelevance. Dirty Harry said in Magnum Force that he'll stick to the system he dislikes until someone comes along with changes that make sense. He still had a say in the justice system because he participated, despite the flaws. Sticking with a system is better than just stepping out and letting the flaws metastasize. If you drop out of society, you throw away your leverage. You have no right to complain about a system you won't participate in. Someone who shows up will have more influence than those who check out. You can still work a job to make some kind of money and contribute some kind of taxes that gives you the ability to say, I live here and pay taxes. You will listen to what I have to say. If you're a regular contributor to something, you can more easily claim credibility than the person who dropped out. Someone paying for Netflix has more leverage than the guy who canceled and complains online. Someone who shows up has more leverage than the dropout, because participation creates stakes, and stakes create influence. If you never leave the house and don't participate in anything, why would anyone in charge care what you have to say? It's a self-fulfilling prophecy. If you drop out of society to NEETmax, people in charge won't care what you have to say after that. That's the simple, harsh truth. If you're involved in the system and stick with one you have issues with, like Dirty Harry, you'll have a stronger voice than someone not involved in it. The only reason I listen to societal dropouts is to understand the mindset and so I can come back and say, this is detrimental and will make things worse. To people on the fence, whether they're unironically endorsing AI companions or encouraging men to stop working. Don't even get me started on dating. If you think women collectively find men working certain jobs unappealing, why would outright unemployment be any better? While they're entitled to their preferences, I also don't understand the issues some women, not all, have with blue collar workers or men working regular jobs. That said, I can better understand losing attraction if someone's unemployed while being otherwise capable of working. If you're unemployed, do you think you'll be able to afford even a coffee date on a non existent neat income? Do you think you'll have anything interesting to talk about from playing video games all day, doom scrolling, or any other neat activities? You're only hurting yourself more in that department by dropping out of society. At least if you're working, you have a chance. If you're able to go out and do more stuff, you'll have more to talk about and have better photos for a dating app than a selfie of yourself sitting at home. On top of that, going out and doing more stuff will increase your odds of meeting someone. It's no guarantee, and I totally get not wanting to crap where you eat at whatever third space you have, and make going there awkward as a result. But neat maxing will also be a self-fulfilling prophecy on this specific front by making you less romantically viable than if you work minimum wage to fund something you care about. I'd also like to point out, if men collectively drop out of society, people who want them out of the way will only become more entrenched. It's like in politics, where if people leave a place en masse because they're of the opposing political party in power, that'll only eliminate meaningful competition. The only people left will be those who vote for the people behind those policies you disagree with. It's the same thing with dropping out of society, because if the only people participating in it are those who think a certain way, that way is going to dominate, and there will be no meaningful competition to challenge a narrative. That's why I do my thing here with the war on doomerism. I want to inspire meaningful competition to challenge the people who promote detrimental life strategies. And while I might not win over a deeply entrenched doomers, I'd like to think I can stop someone on the fence from going down bad choice road, as Mike Ehrmantraut from Breaking Bad would put it. The neat lifestyle also has a shelf life, and working still has benefits. You might not be able to buy a house, but you'll avoid being out on the streets, and you don't want to be in that situation, especially in the winter. And I say this as I record during a blizzard. I also say this because I learned of a man who froze to death outside South Station last December, and despite my own room being around 55 degrees Fahrenheit on winter days, according to my HomePod Mini, at least it never gets lower than that, especially below freezing like it can get on the streets of Boston. So I'm grateful for some kind of shelter. A crappy apartment with a similar climate to my room is worth whatever difficulties a job entails to pay rent. Same thing if you're in some kind of office or any kind of workplace. At least you're not on the streets. Now, if you're working the trades or something, that's a different story entirely, but you know what I mean. If I took Doomerism's advice to heart and stopped working entirely, my odds of ending up in a similar situation if living at home is no longer an option sharply increase. Sure, I'd be fine if I was fired from the instant gratification job tomorrow, and YouTube refused to monetize me once I eventually qualify, but only for now. My mother will only cover my groceries on the occasions she does for so long. Her idea, by the way, so don't go calling me a mooch or a parasite. As it is, I've had to cut back because I've only worked 2 days max per week for about a month now because they cut hours at the instant gratification job. That's forced me to go down to just one Saturday trip. I won't complain because I'm able to make it work and can use the extra time to focus on this channel and other projects, rather than just play video games all day. That said, I've had to be more strategic with my budget so I have enough money for groceries. It's easier because my mom's out of town and I don't need to dodge her cleaning frenzies on Sundays. But I'm genuinely upset when I can't go out there, even when I have nothing to get away from at home. If I went full neat, my life would be significantly worse, even with basic food and shelter needs covered. Being unemployed would be way worse, even living at home. I tried a light version of NEETmaxxing last year, as Raymond described it in his reaction to my 2025 finale. And I have to say, it's not something I'd recommend to anyone. Like AI companions, it's not a healthy substitute for the real thing. Even animals in captivity get enrichment activities, like the aquarium seals learning to tell the difference between different objects with a rubber ducky, or countless other examples they share on their social media, like playing soccer with the sea lions. Humans need enrichment too. While video games or other neat staples are fun enrichments in small doses, they're ultimately harmful in excess. As I learned from last May's playthrough of Majora's Mask, and mentioned in a video around then, taking a break from a task can be a big help, which in my case was stepping away to make and eat dinner after struggling with one of the shooting galleries in the game. then returning and getting the perfect score I needed on my first attempt. Whether it's too much gaming or too little sunlight, fresh air, and social interaction, that's the reality of dropping out completely. That's why I say working's still worth it. It won't be easy if you can't just live at home, but it can be managed. You can find roommates you can actually coexist with, like the four guys I've mentioned in a past video who all live together. I love bringing up NASA and how they do things, and this could be a separate video, but quick point. Due to the nature of space travel, they conduct all kinds of tests and psych evaluations to make sure astronauts can work well together. If you can evaluate roommates in a similar manner, you'll be in a better position. Those four guys have known each other since middle or high school, which probably helps. One of them told me he moved into that setup because his mother refused to stop helping him with things when he would say, I got this, and wanted to develop a better sense of independence. Comment if you want me to ask what they're comfortable sharing for a potential video. If you drop out of society and stop working, it'll backfire big time. If you think the system's actively pushing men out, or let's just say it actually is, then dropping out is just giving them exactly what they want, and you're only hurting yourself by doing that. Instead, participate in society. Voice your concerns if it's an appropriate context. You don't have to be an outspoken online personality, but you can use your voice where it matters most, like at a city council meeting where you can present your concerns on the public record, or even just voting. Your candidate or referendum might not win, but at least you made an effort where it actually counts. Even if it's framed as going on strike, there's no union to bargain with society. People in charge will just find a workaround or double down when there's nobody left to challenge them. Instead of handing the people in charge what they want on a silver platter, participate in society and get as many people participating as possible. On that note, I'm going to leave it here for the video. Give it a like if you enjoyed it, especially if I convinced you not to drop out of society. Comment that too, or if you really want to argue to the contrary, go ahead, especially if you want to insult me because, like I said before, I read every single comment. Even the hidden or potentially offensive ones. Finally, subscribe for cultural commentary and rants from a man caught between generations, but still participating in society. Thanks for watching, keep participating in society, and I'll see you soon.